Hi, YouTubers. Today I want to do a video commentary on the CDC's May 13th, 21 relaxation of the COVID restrictions, rules, guidelines, where it's now recommended that people who have been fully vaccinated can be outdoors or indoors, uh, even in crowds, without masks, without social distancing. And the question is, are we going too far, too fast? We're still having roughly 40,000 new cases of COVID-19 a day in the United States. And we're having around 800 deaths a day in the United States. Uh, if you just, they say that this is based on the science, but, you know, statistics can be manipulated and or looked at from different points of view. So if you look at it from the point of view of a vaccinated person, for that particular individual, the risk is very low, almost regardless of what they do. For the most part, it's not zero, but it is very low. So they are relatively safe in doing pretty much anything as far as contact with other people. But it could be much better than what it is, because if everyone were vaccinated uh, or immune due to natural immunity, then even if uh, they were going to be the one in 20 that were going to have a breakthrough infection, that is, you get the infection even though you're vaccinated, that the probability of contacting another person with an infection would be far, far lower if everyone were vaccinated. So even that risk would be gone. But because there's so much COVID still out there, they have to incur that risk, albeit low. It's still a risk which many would view as preventable, unnecessary. Had we got the pandemic under better control before the restrictions were relaxed to the current level. You still have all the kids unvaccinated. You still have half the adults unvaccinated. And we don't have vaccine passports. We don't have a way of knowing who has and hasn't had the vaccine. So when you go indoors and you're having contact with other people, you don't know if they are or aren't vaccinated. And if you're unvaccinated, then you're really at risk, because just think about it. Everybody's just going to go crazy saying, oh, great, we don't have to do the masks and social distancing anymore. And a lot of those people are going to be unvaccinated. So you're going to have a whole lot more contacts than you were having when we had the restrictions in place, because of these new guidelines, which are supposed to apply only to vaccinated people. But again, if you can't separate out who's vaccinated and who isn't vaccinated, if it depends on the honor system, let's face it, in the United States, it's like herding cats. People just do whatever the heck they want to do. And so I'm afraid that this is going to have the effect of prolonging the epidemic. And what I mean by that is we're going to have higher case numbers for a much longer period of time as a result of these guidelines, as opposed to had we waited longer, got the numbers down first, and then did this. If we had vaccine passports, if we had a way of knowing who was and who wasn't vaccinated, if we had a way of enforcing it, then that would be a totally different situation. Then I'd say, oh, go for it. I mean, I would actually like that. I would like to say, I'm vaccinated. I wouldn't hesitate to want to be indoors in a crowded room with a bunch of vaccinated. That would be fine. But I would be taking a little bit extra risk for myself, even though I'm vaccinated, if I'm exposing myself at close contact with a bunch of people, some of whom are infected. And why should I have to take that risk? There's no law that says I can't put on a mask. And if I'm in a crowded indoor space, I'm going to do that. But again, are we moving too far too fast? And then why are we doing this? And I can't help but think that there's been a lot of political pressure for this. Again, yeah, you can argue science-based that it is okay for fully vaccinated people to do the things that they're saying we can now do. However, what's the reality of this? Do you really think that it's just going to be the vaccinated people who do this and relax the restrictions? See, that's the issue. You've got all the kids, you've got half the adults, and are they going to comply and continue wearing their masks? Okay, well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.